pew, pew, pew. Hi. Hello. How's everybody? How's your brain? How is your brain doing? My brain is kind of fried, but things are looking up. Um, I had an idea. Hey, what's up, Frosty? What's up? What's happening? I had an idea. I do kind of want to continue this here synth wavy kind of tune kind of thing going on. Um, but there's so many cool little like synth like effects that one could use, and I was like, that'd be kind of a neat thing to sort of just dig into a little bit. Um, and for folks that are in the learning phase of all of this jazz, you know, it's all about your synth basics, like envelopes. So yeah, I think this is a good thing to kind of dig into a little bit, and this little track could definitely use it. I mean, this track is barely, barely in like any kind of a skeletal state here. So, yeah, there's plenty of opportunity for, you know, interesting little sounds and stuff. So let's dig into something here. I'm just gonna fire up a subtractor and I'm gonna reset it. Um, so thinking about this stuff, usually I would say the first thing that one should say is usually when you're doing this kind of thing, um, you're going to put this sound through some delay and reverb. That's almost always going to be the case. So think about that for the, sort of the final product. It kind of bears just at least a little bit of thought of like, if my sound lasts a long time, you might not need it to because the delay and the reverb are going to lengthen things out. So many buttons. Yeah, you just got to start. You got to start small. You got to start with like one thing, one device, and like I don't know. I started with hardware, so it's a little different. Like when you start with hardware, um, first of all, the buttons were that's one of the reasons I started with hardware. Give me more buttons and flashing lights and fun levers and things like that. Like I'm all about that shit. So um, so let's say we just wanted to make some kind of like a little like a woo, a little bloopy sound. There's there's a few ways that you could do that. Um, and one of the most common is to not actually use an oscillator of any type, which is just to use a filter. So if I take my mix and I turn it all the way to oscillator number 2, which is off, and I hit a thing, nothing happens. But when we crank the resonance all the way up, I'm going to hit the sustain pedal. And then we turn the frequency up. Nothing happens. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Oh, maybe it doesn't have. Maybe it shouldn't be. Okay. Okay, so this isn't just purely self-oscillating, which is unfortunate. So what you can do is take a sine wave and make it go really, really low. Yeah, and even that's not working. Okay, well let's scratch that idea. Let's go to a different synth entirely here. Let's use a Thor because a Thor is a fairly basic synth, even though it looks a little bit scary when you open up the program and you're like, holy shit. But it's really not that big of a deal. You just follow the arrows. So you've got 3 oscillators, and then usually it goes through a filter. If we take that and we turn it off, and we crank our resonance all the way up, so now we get a sound. Thank you, Mr. Motorcycle. So what this is doing right now is the envelope, the filter envelope, is affecting it. Okay, now I want to take out all the variables here. So filter envelope, here's the thing. It's got a really fast attack and a really slow decay. So what if we turn the attack up? All right, because right now the amp envelope is also being triggered. It's weird that there's a delay. I don't really understand why there's a delay. Shouldn't be any delay. And if we crank the amount up, and actually put the sustain at like 0. Now, if you had the attack down all the way, then you just have these little pew noises. Little chorus. A little much, right? It's kind of gross. But now if you start talking effects and stuff and you throw some, delay and reverb. Actually, I can use the stuff that I put in here. All right. Right on. Well, thanks for coming by, man. So here's my multi-tap panning delay, and here's my kind of my standard DR1 reverb thing going on. So there's that. It probably also needs to be high pass filtered, because if you look at the stuff down here on the low end, it gets pretty freaking huge. I mean, that's like 25 dB at 40 hertz, and it's just massive. My skull is vibrating. Also notice the high end. Like, it peaks at right here. It doesn't get any higher than that. So we could, honestly, take the envelope and turn it up even more. Okay, so now it peaks at about probably like 7K. Like right about there where my mouse is. Now if you hear that like chomp chomp chomp, that's because the release time on the filter envelope is super low. So if we turn that up, now it becomes almost like a one-shot. And the secret, if you wanted a one-shot, you need the amp release to be the same amount of time, if not a little higher. Okay, so now we can just flick it with a note. And the nice thing about that is look at the low end now. It just falls away and disappears. And we could still high-pass filter that, because really this effect is a high-end effect. That's pretty good. Okay. And then you just sort of sprinkle it in to taste. Like, this is going to be a thing that, maybe I'll use once in a song or twice. So I usually take my little special effects like that, I color them gray, and I throw them over with the percussion. That's just strictly a workflow kind of a thing for me. So where do we want that? Do we want that here? Pew! That'd be cool. Like right in the middle of that. So to be honest, just draw in a note. It doesn't have to be anything glamorous. It could just be there. There it is. Done. Finished. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it a bar long so that I can like move it around later and possibly just like copy it somewhere else as a one measure thing. So management. Here goes. It's going to be way too loud, so I'm going to just turn it down right away. Okay. I mean, it was okay. I didn't really marvel at it or anything. Um, Honestly, the decay time could go a little longer. Okay. You could try other things too. We could try the chorus and just do a little bit less. Okay, so let's see what happens here. If we do this just every 2 beats and we turn on a loop. Yeah, so that's cool. Now you could also throw in some noise. Change your filter type. The smaller the number, the more high end is going to be contained within each part there. So that's going to actually bring out the noise a little bit. Now, a chorus, that kind of gives us a stereo, shimmery sort of an effect. Because normally, this thing is not by rule like stereo. Like it doesn't have a unison mode or anything like that. It's just, it's the same signal going to both sides. So you need some sort of processing if you want this thing to really be like interesting in the stereo field. So we could do something like throw a saturator on it and use that stereo expander. In fact, we could even throw in a little bit of drive, a little bit of fuzz, which might be cool. It's that guy, and then stereo turbo. Yeah. Now, if you notice, it's a lot peakier over its entire length. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can notice this or not, but if you listen to that really carefully, if I play it once and just let it go, you're going to hear the end of it is an actual note. So if I hold it. Okay, so that's the decay. I keep turning the decay way up, but it shouldn't be the decay. It should be the release time because I'm doing it as a one shot. Now, let this go. Okay, that wasn't as bad because I turned the decay time down. So, all right, one more time here. Okay. And that's peachy keen. So in the context here, yeah. Now, if we really wanted to do that, huge, which is a good idea, we would probably throw a supermassive on it. On something on the smaller side. Smaller for supermassive is still, fucking gigantic, and I love it. Like a big mix though, like 60%. Wait. What was that again? Let me hear. No, let's do like 50% mix. And we really want the high, and we don't want the low. So. That's pretty good. Okay, so that should sit in the mix pretty well, too. So, you know, nice happy little pew sound. Now, what about like a really fast little plucky arpeggio kind of thing, which is something you do hear quite a bit in synthwave. We can bust out Serum for this. I do like Serum. I like this more and more for the stuff that I like to use it for, like this kind of a thing where you're using like a really high, real high kind of plucky sound. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this track, but thanks for that. Yeah, Wulshan Logan. Wulshan Logan. Is that two names? I don't know, but it's pretty cool. What do I need? I need a pulse wave or a square. Is there like a digital square? Something that's no, I doubt it. Okay. Analog pulse, a square saw. There we go. Had to be done. It's mandatory. I still don't know if this is the best wave for this. Is there a better one? Is there a different? I guess basic shapes. That's got that kind of thing in there. So what do we need though? We need position. Where are we going here? We're going there. That's more like it. Okay. So here's what we need to do. We need to make a really fast envelope. Faster. Too fast. Okay, well that can be adjusted later on. Let's just shove that guy off to the side for now. And then I'm going to throw a player on here. And we can do this a couple of different ways. What would be kind of cool. This would be kind of cool. Let's use a beat map for this, okay? But what key are we in here? We're in C minor, okay. So what you can do is here, learn key. And then play the notes that you want. I don't even know if I'm going to use the mirrors or not yet. So, and then you can do like here, random density, spawn XY, and then hit go. Now, if we put this thing on monophonic, yeah, so like not working super duper well for this. I mean, if you stuck tons of delay on it, well, of course, it's going to sound really cool. It kind of sounds like it's like having some problems though. It's like that like random multi-triggered weird thing that keeps going on. So yeah, the easy thing then would be to use dual arpeggio In fact, this thing has some programs in it that you can just grab. I wonder if there's like any kind of like. I wonder if there's any kind of like randomizing sort of thing that this can do. That'd be kind of neat. Um, and we can crank the rate up. We can go to like 30-second notes. This was a mission of yours. I'm maybe glad to hear that. Unless you're stalking me to kill me and harass me, then that would be terrifying. Um, can we do random? Yes. And then we can do like a 2-octave range. Okay. I had a suspicion. So like, what could you do with this here? What you could do is pretty easy, to be honest. Which you could we could do like an actual number of steps, for example, and then we could do a kind of a pattern, sort of, kind of like. That sounds psychotic. Um, let's not do that. In fact, let's never do that again. Um, you could do something kind of interesting. Like, okay, let's try something. I'm gonna record just notes, just 5 notes. Squish. There. Okay, done. And then I'm going to quantize them just to make sure that everything is nice and happy and latched onto the beat. Okay, and then there they are. So what do we do? Well, now what we can do is time stretch that. We could time stretch it. We could copy it. We could chop it up. We could do all sorts of weird stuff to it. Like we could just like be like here, blork, and then we could, let's keep one original, and then we can copy this thing all over the place and time stretch it down. So we're looking at like 16th note little chunks of this, so maybe a little bit longer, just so it's not super weird the entire time. So let's give that a quick audition. So yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. I kind of dig that. So again, randomly intersperse a few of these, change their lengths, time stretching them. And so on. And then maybe eventually we can actually come up with a pattern here and just start to kind of repeat it. It doesn't have to be perfect. So like copy and then pasting this in like chunks like that. In fact, then you can even do weird stuff like, let's take a huge thing like this. Let's join those clips and then let's reverse it. Boink. And so now you've got the sort of the order of those rhythms opposite. But what I'm going to do is quantize those to the 16th note because they look like they're a little bit lost. You look a little lost, child. It's terrible. Oh, goodness. It is awful. Let's grab just a couple more, throw them in there. Okay. So yeah, weird. But then again, you need to go through some delay. Let's have some delay. Who wants to become famous? Nobody wants to become famous. You die, and you go to hell. Okay, let's leave that. And let's do. Should we send that to track? Oh, it's Aubrey Hart. Hello, how are you? Okay, we did send it to track, and then there it is. Gonk. And this is going to look kind of nuts. This is going to look a little bit psychotic. What are these big chunky chords doing in there? That's really weird. Yeah, I figured as much. You guys having fun with being masked at school? Because, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it still pretty much sucks. Big time. Okay, let's delete all of that stuff. That stuff is left over from the basic note track that I had going in there before, so it somehow just glommed its way in. So now we've got. Let's delete this guy. That is true. If that were not part of my job, that would actually be a bonus. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know. Who knows? This is another track, though, that I was like maybe going to continue and finish. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I got to remember, this is in my old effects setup, too. Ah, why must you take over the entire screen? How dare you? You bastard. Now you must die. Actually, there you are. Poof. Done. I don't remember what this is. There's some, well, there's a good amount of stuff in here, though. Let's find out, shall we? In fact, it already has an end on it. Is this a finished track? It might be. Yeah, this is a finished track. This is already done. I don't label these with like names. Is it this? Is it piano ambient? It might be. I don't know. I don't know. We find out. We find out soon. We find out now. Is this like locked on there? Dude, don't be locked on to one visualization. Why would you do that? Yes. Keep visualizing things. Yeah, random little fireworks guy. This is the one I was thinking of. I don't know, maybe it isn't. Who knows? Oh, that's right. This was like piano. Okay. No, that was not something I wanted to continue. Because it sounds like bad video game music, which is not really what I'm after here. You know. So let's just find a synth and start from scratch and goof around and see what happens. Um, I have lots of synths. I have lots of synths. That is kind of lame, but I have lots of synths. I don't use this one very much either. What is this? What is this ID8 doing here? Go away. Introduction, synth sounds, dubstep, ambient. Maybe ambient will have ambient sounds for us to use in an ambient piece. That would be very ambient of it. That's nice. Browse, patch. All right, take it easy. I kind of like that, but I don't really like the sound that much. Hmm. I'm going to steal that and reattach it. And then I think maybe just like every once in a while, oh, for the love of God, Reason, what is wrong with you and having odd numbers of beats? You're really bad at that. Okay, so global settings, number one, unison on. Yep, that's better. Now we could do a PWM wave instead. And a really low square wave. Oh, that's naughty. Okay, now it needs a little smoothing out. So there's like a Juno chorus that's really nice in here. Yeah, like a so. And let's do a bit of compression here because I want this to be kind of more of a of wants to just build this chunk up right here and like add a whole bunch of interesting, weird percussion and stuff like that going. I feel like that's kind of the way to go right now. I instantly heard like phased bongos or something. And the first thing I always think of is World Percussion has a bunch of Rex files. But there are some groups like that kind of thing. That's actually kind of neat. But I'm going to throw a few of these in here. And so these are all really fast. And that has some promise. And what you'd have to do then is like, okay, let's say we use this first one. We would take and turn off loop to playback, and then we're going to copy loop to track. But that ain't going to work because there's just too many. So you could do this the easy way. You could, first of all, quantize it, because it's usually a good idea with some of these. And just chop off the end, and then just copy paste it over and over again. And let's see if it sounds okay. That's actually kind of cool. Now, what happens if we just do this? No, nothing. So wait. Yeah, I don't like that one as well. This is a very minimalist kind of a thing here. Now, you know, one could do interesting shit with this too, and take it like and time stretch it faster. Which is actually pretty cool. Okay, but definitely going to need fairly substantial compression here. Yeah, here it is without all the peaks and stuff like that, and now it's like super smooth. And then we'll put it someplace. A big drone kind of a combo that could come in here, which would be cool. I wonder how the scenic instrument like blend in well. This thing is kind of like I had high hopes for it, but it's kind of like it's all right. It's okay. Oh God. Okay, that's weird. That's really strange too. Um okay, let's not use this guy then. Let's use something different. Um Parsec has some really interesting like pad kind of sounds. It does some really tripped out kind of stuff too, which is always appreciated. What I'm looking for is a really deep, just kind of drone that I can throw into a supermassive and just give me this bed of like low G goo. A little bit too high end and kind of. Aye. Okay, but let's work on this for a second here. And kind of like before, I'm just going to make one small track, and then I'm going to time stretch it. Boink. That. Oh no. Oh no. What have you done? This is terrible. Okay, there. And then we can just be like. Whoop. There you go. Alright. Okay, first of all. Way too much detune going on in there. Hmm. We are sorry, your reverb is still continuing. There's the goo. I have idea. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Nope, that's a good idea. Okay. I think I'm going to hit the road for the night. But thanks for joining me. I'm going to try to get a modular stream up sometime in the next few days. Hopefully Sunday, maybe Monday. I don't know. Who knows? So, anyways, I am off.